Hi everyone, I'm Ijun, and today we'll be having our very first podcast episode featuring Xuan Yan.
Hi everyone, I'm Xuan Yan and I'm an ex-Wesley student and currently I am studying A-levels in Sunway.
Today we'll discuss about her experience in Wesley, at the same time how she managed to strive during her high school with a very excellent result of 8 A-star. So what do you think about online lessons during the semester? Is it affecting your productivity on studying?
I definitely think online studying isn't as good as going to school physically and learning in person because it's just not as interactive. It was very difficult to stay focused on,
Okay.
But eventually, I still got used to it.
Okay, if there's one tip you would like to share with the juniors, what will you share on how do you manage to focus during the online classes?
I think one thing that really helped me to focus after a while was I tried my best to just do a lot of notes while the lesson is ongoing. Even when I didn't need to do any notes because I knew what the teacher was talking about, I would do notes just to keep me awake and focused. I found that helpful.
We heard it's very competitive in Wesley as well. The mocks is very, very tough, and a lot of students actually struggle from it. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, I definitely think that Wesley exams are just quite tough in general, relative to other schools. But yeah, it was quite tough. It's just a lot of the tests that we had in class, everyone got really bad results and then we were all stressed about it and complain about it. And even after the teacher explained everything and it was clear, we couldn't really grasp the concept of the question. But even then, I think it's these tough exams that Wesley gives us that really helps us to push ourselves in the end, because in the end, for IGs, a lot of Wesley students just get really good results. This year, we actually got 88 point something % of straight A's and A stars. So I think in the end, it's still worth it.
So other than just, doing a lot of practice and revision, do you think going to tuition actually helps your studies as well?
Yeah, because I think having tuition classes just helps me understand the chapters better, and if I have any questions that I couldn't ask in class or didn't have the opportunity to, then I can just ask the tuition teachers, and they're much friendlier as well and easier to approach. So I think that really helped me as well. And also the extra practice just really gave me just more of confidence in the chapters that I was learning. Yeah.
Okay, good to hear that. So how long are you with VBest, and how do you know about VBest in the first place?
This is my 3rd year so far. So I joined in year 10 and then year 11. And I took chemistry and physics tuitions. My chemistry teacher was Mr. T, and my physics teacher is Mr. Edison. I think I needed help in those, and I think it really helped me because the teachers were really friendly, and then I also got to ask a lot of questions that I couldn't ask in class because I was too shy to. Yeah.
So if there's a lot of activities and let's say you have a lot of things going on in life, right? How can you cope that with studies? Is there any time management tips to share with us?
I personally struggled a lot with time management as well when I first got into year 10, because I think from year 9 to year 10 it was a huge leap for me in terms of just workload and the things that I was studying. How I managed it was, at first I just pulled a lot of all-nighters, which isn't good, but it helped me manage my schedule and things I needed to do. And then eventually it got better and I could finish my workload in time and also manage other things. I also came up with just a consistent schedule of what I need to do.
Is there a time you feel very demotivated and tiring that you feel giving up, before the exams?
Yeah, definitely. I feel just right before the exam, there's this feeling of panic because in the end, we have trials before the exam, which a lot of people don't do like extremely well for. And me included, like, I don't think my trials results were great at all for Wesley standards. I think that was like a stressful time because you kind of lose confidence in yourself and you wonder if you will actually do good for IGs. But in the end, I think having a good support system, like my friends, and we just kind of console each other about it, and we would call late at night to study together or console each other and complain about how stressful school is to each other. And I think knowing that someone else is like in that same boat as you was really comforting and really helped me like push forward.
Another question is, can you tell us like a time where you're really under a lot of pressure, like what's going on and how do you manage to get through it by the end?
In the start of year 10, I was under a lot of pressure because, as I said, I couldn't handle the workload. I didn't expect it to be that difficult. But, and then MCO happened. So we all had online learning and I slacked off a lot during that. I think I really took time off to just take care of my mental health more and do the things that I thought I needed to do for myself and rest as well. And I think that resting period was important for me because or else I would have been in a constant state of just stress and panic. Yeah, and then in the end, like accepting that things are gonna be difficult and continuing to try and work towards the goal of just being good at studies as well as doing well for your other core curriculum activities was what helped me. Yeah.
So what do you think is like some of the students, right, they have the idea that, oh, year 10 is meant for chilling and they only start pushing themselves in year 11. Do you think that's the right thing to do, or you should start working hard in the beginning of year 10?
Yeah, I think everyone should start working hard in the beginning of year 10 because if you don't know the front chapters that well, it's very difficult for you to understand the last few chapters as well. So if you just try and cram everything before the exams, I don't think that's a good idea. It's very risky.
Another thing is, okay, lastly, right, how will you motivate or encourage current students that are going to take their IGs? Like if let's say they are aiming for straight A's or A star, how do you keep that? Like how do you advise them or motivate them?
I think what's important is just taking care of yourself as well, because I think understanding that whatever you do and whatever results you get, it's like what you did best for. And if you really did your best, then you should be happy about it and be proud of it. So in the end, you don't like come back after every exam just feeling horrible about yourself. I think you should appreciate your efforts as well. So do well before the exam, study hard, do a lot of past years. I did a lot of past years with my friends and I think that was really helpful to us. Yeah, and we also like called right before the exams, like late at nights, to just quiz each other on things that we need to memorize or just whatever, and that really helped us as well. Like it was kind of a reminder of what to remember for the exam. And even though it was last minute, and I don't think anyone should be like sleeping super late during the exams because that kind of disrupts your mentality the next day, but I think that really helped. Also, just having a clear mind when you go into the exam. Don't just think about getting A's or A stars. I think you just have to do your best.
So what's most important is like give whatever you can, just try your very best, right? And I realized from our conversation you have been mentioning that, you know, having supportive friends is like very important that keep you motivated all the time so that you can like fight till the end and give in your best, right? Okay, so thank you so much, Xuan Yan, for taking your time on Friday night, you know, to talk about this, your high school life experiences and how do you manage to cope and strive till the end. Okay, so all the best to you in your college and hope that you can get flying colors in A level again and wishing you a bright future ahead. Okay, so nice talking to you and I hope everyone enjoyed this conversation. Let us know what you guys want to learn about in our next podcast. So see you guys. Good night. Bye. Thanks, Xuan Yan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.